Welcome to the second episode of Fantasyland. I'm your host, Matthew Sharamita, and tonight marks the long-awaited return of my handsome co-host, Ryan Skinner. Ryan, I understand you came down with something nasty 2 weeks ago. How are you feeling now?
Feeling much better. Thank you for asking. The Oswego plague got me.
It's getting everybody. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling good, Ryan, and I'm just glad to have you back on the show. Last week I asked Jaden what qualifies him as a fantasy football expert. I think it's only right that I ask you the same question tonight.
Well, I would say the multiple leagues that I have that are more than $100 buy-in, that just really, the amount of money that I have personally riding on this, for me, would probably make me an expert, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's fair considering that even I was asking for your advice on a trade earlier today. I think you're more than qualified for the position. So welcome Ryan to the show. Now that all the formalities are out of the way, let's get into our first segment, The Wire. Ryan, who are you looking to pick up on the waiver wire this week?
So I was looking at Rashee Rice, actually. The Chiefs receiver, he doesn't have a lot of competition there. Travis Kelce obviously is the main competition, but other than that, they got Kadarius Toney hasn't been looking that great. Justin Watson has an injury. So honestly, Rashee Rice, I think, might be the Chiefs' #1 receiver, other than Travis Kelce, of course.
Yeah, and I think Rashee Rice is a great pick. I was high on Sky Moore in the beginning of the season, and just to see him not be utilized this year has been kind of upsetting for big Sky Moore believers and myself. But I think Rashee Rice is a great pick for the waivers this week. But another pick for me would be Kareem Hunt. You have a lot of short-term running back success here. You have Jordan Mason, Craig Reynolds, and Zach Evans, all pretty much available in every league to hit that spot instead of Kareem Hunt. But Kareem Hunt's going to be a solid long-term play. He's going to go 50-50 with Ford rest of the season. He's going to run a lot. The Browns already ran a lot before Watson went down. Now with P.J. Walker there, I think they're going to run even more. I think Kareem Hunt's going to be a solid flex play rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I would say my second would probably be Joshua Palmer. I got Joshua Palmer. He scored 10-plus points every single game since Mike Williams has gotten hurt, and he's looked like they're solid #2. Obviously, Keenan Allen's there, Austin Eckler's there. Gerald Everett is a solid tight end, but Josh Palmer, Gerald Everett, they're about even, and so those remaining touches are either going to go to him or Everett, and I think that Palmer will be able to score at least 10 points per game, if not more, if he gets touchdowns and all that.
Yeah, the receptions will be there for Palmer. He's got his work cut out for him. I think that's a great pick. Another receiver that I'm pretty high on right now is Wan'Dale Robinson. I think only in PPR leagues, this is going to be in non-PPR leagues, I wouldn't pick up Robinson, but in purely PPR leagues, I would go get Wan'Dale Robinson from the New York Giants. He plays Washington this week. He just saw his season high 8 targets. He had 8 catches, 14.2 points, and that's all without a touchdown. He'll find the end zone, I feel like, and he's available in 73% of the leagues. The Giants don't really have anything else. Darius Slayton, he's not going to do much. Darren Waller's been unimpressive. I think that seeing Wan'Dale integrated into this offense is a really good sign for big things to come from Robinson. I'm excited for him. I'm picking him up this week.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, like you said, there's not a lot of competition. Maybe Darren Waller and obviously Saquon, but other than that, they don't really have any other receivers. So why not go for the best guy available in Wan'Dale Robinson? Absolutely. There have been a lot of injuries this past week, which is to be expected as we have almost gotten to the midway point in the season. Matt, what players do you want to keep an eye on for the week and weeks going forward?
So I have 2 players that I'm keeping an eye on. The first one is Kyren Williams. He just went down a sprained ankle. He'll miss at least this week. He may even miss up to week 11. Week 11 is going to be kind of the latest deadline for Kyren Williams to come back. They have the bye week in week 10. They're really pushing for before the bye week, but at least week 11. I talked about Zach Evans being the replacement. Myles Gaskin's also there. I also got David Montgomery. I'm keeping an eye on him. He's got a cartilage injury in his ribs. His coach, Dan Campbell, said he'll be out for a while. Nobody has any idea what that means. MRIs came back kind of positive, but it's a cartilage issue. I have no idea how long he's going to be out. Craig Reynolds is also nursing a pair of injuries. People who have Jahmyr Gibbs and have been sitting on him all season, I would be excited to use Jahmyr Gibbs these next couple weeks while we wait for Montgomery to get back in the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. There's the rookie Gibbs, and then there's Craig Reynolds backing him up until he gets back. But yeah, David Montgomery is definitely a guy to keep an eye on. I got for my guys, I definitely have Aaron Jones. He's had that hamstring injury since like week 3 or 4, I believe, and he's just been having a rough go of it. I mean, they thought for sure they would have him back after the bye week, and he's just not completely all the way there. Hopefully he plays this week. He should be good to go, but again, it's tough, especially with the hamstring injury. And my other one is Daniel Jones, who had a neck injury 2 weeks ago. Last week, Tyrod Taylor came in, replaced him. I think that on the one hand, Daniel Jones, they just gave him that big contract during the offseason. However, Tyrod Taylor did mismanage the clock twice, which lost them the game. So on the one hand, they want to keep him healthy for years going forward, and they want him to be that guy. But also Tyrod Taylor losing them games, mismanaging the clock, just not looking comfortable or like he knows what he's doing even out there. They're going to want Daniel Jones to be back out there, especially to work with Saquon.
Right.
So he's cleared. Daniel Jones is cleared to throw, but not yet for practice.
Right. No, absolutely.
Coming up, what players have matchups that we want to watch? Also, what players should you be trading or trading for? Coming up after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10
out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Land, and to start quarter 2, we got to talk must-watch matchups this upcoming week. Ryan, who are you most excited to watch this week?
I am most excited to watch Marquise Brown. He's going up against the Seahawks, and honestly, the Seahawks are really good at scoring points, but their defense is lackluster at best. So Marquise Brown going up against them, they're going to be playing most likely from behind. Like I said, the Seahawks score points. That's what they do. And so Marquise Brown should be able to, catch a lot, maybe get a touchdown, and should have a good game. Who do you got?
I like Marquise Brown, but my must-watch matchup this week is A.J. Brown. It was both of the Eagles receivers before early this afternoon when Devontae went down with his hamstring injury. A.J. Brown is a must-watch player this week. He's the wide receiver 7 on the year, over 400 yards in the last 3 games. They take on Miami. They are the 12th. They allowed 12th most pass yards, and then the week after they take on Washington, 13th most pass yards in the league. It's going to be a shootout between these two offensive juggernauts, the Dolphins and the Eagles. A.J. Brown's going to have a heck of a game. I'm excited to watch him. Who's your next player, Ryan?
My next guy is my running back, Josh Jacobs. He's going against the Chicago defense, and honestly, anybody going against Chicago or Denver defenses, I would say those are probably the 2 worst defenses in the league. Anybody going against those, you got to start them. So Josh Jacobs should have a field day going against them. He's already on the incline this season. He started out rough. He started out just not doing too great, not looking like his usual self, which is probably part of that holdout. but he's been looking better recently, putting up 15 points about per game in the past 3 weeks, and he's going against Chicago, so he's my guy.
Yeah, I'm going to follow suit. I got a running back as well. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker. He's the RB10 right now. They play Arizona. It's the 3rd worst rush defense in the NFL. I mean, Kenneth Walker has just been phenomenal for the Seahawks. You mentioned how they love to score points. Kenneth Walker's been that guy over there. Just exciting to watch him. He's going to kill Arizona. I think he's got his work cut out for him this weekend. I'm excited for another big game from Kenneth Walker. We'll take one last player from you, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. So Michael Pittman's my last guy. I mean, for me, it's more of I want to see what he can do against Cleveland's defense. They have arguably a top 3, maybe top 3 without the 2 and 3 defense in the league. And he's done well against the Jags defense and the Ravens defense, which are also respectable defenses. But Cleveland's defense is pretty top-notch. So Michael Pittman should be a player to watch. Just see how he does against a top defense. What's your last guy?
My last guy is Isaiah Pacheco. If anyone watched 2 weeks ago, you knew I was high on this guy. The RB13 right now. He plays the Broncos again in Week 8. The worst rush defense in the NFL. It's a revolving door of a defensive line. I mean, they couldn't stop paint from drying if they wanted to. Isaiah Pacheco is going to have another great game. I've said his name probably a million times in the last 2 shows, but I'm saying it again, Isaiah Pacheco having a week. That's all.
Absolutely. So up next, we got, what's next?
Buying low, selling high on players. So I'm going to start here with a buy low candidate. It's Devontae Smith. And I think if you have a winning record in your league, if you have a winning record in your league, you have to go get Devontae Smith. He's nursing that hamstring injury right now. He hasn't been showing the numbers. His value is probably on the floor. He just saw 11 targets against the Jets. I know Devontae has the skill to catch those passes, just kind of a mistake in his head kind of moment in that last game. But I think if you have that winning record and you can afford to sit him maybe a week, buy Devontae Smith. Who are you buying?
My buy low has got to be DJ Moore. I mean, 2 weeks ago, pops off 60 points, and so you would think that he is high right now, but last week he goes out there and only puts up 10 points. So 10 points, DJ Moore, I mean, honestly, the running backs are all over the place. So they don't really have any clear-cut running back 1 on that team. The second receiver, I don't know, Equanimous St. Brown maybe. I mean, nobody can even name. I mean, it's probably Mooney, but yeah. Honestly, they're all pretty even after DJ Moore. So he's my clear guy. He's the entire offense. DJ Moore buy low.
I agree with that. Now it's time for players that we're going to sell, and I am selling Adam Thielen at his absolute ceiling. He's the wide receiver 3 right now. He is never going to see more value than he is right now. He just had some of the most desirable matchups out of all receivers in the NFL. He's obviously the clear-cut wide receiver in Carolina, but I think that you can get a lot out of him. He's going to be consistent. People are going to want him, but you could maybe sneak in a guy like Devontae Adams. You can maybe package a deal with Pacheco and another. You can maybe trade him for a guy like Kyren Williams. I say do it. I say sell Adam Thielen. If you need a running back, go get a guy like Kyren Williams, a top-tier running back, even a guy like Tony Pollard. Sell Adam Thielen. He's at his ceiling right now.
Yeah, absolutely. My sell high has got to be Ramondre Stevenson. I don't want any part of that Patriots offense. I think that, Kendrick Bourne has been their best receiver, and he's been looking good, but you start him a week, and he's going to score you 4 points. So none of them are reliable. Ramondre Stevenson just put up 18, so it's respectable. People still have him decently high for, I don't even know why. And not only that, he is now injured with an ankle injury. So it's just not looking good for him.
Yeah, I've been off the Stevenson train since episode 1. I hit that panic button, so I'm right with you there. Now that you know who to buy high and sell low, it's time to go for a break. Coming up after the break, one of us will be punished for last episode's head-to-head matchup. You will not want to miss it. Coming up right back here real soon.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Now it is time for someone to get punished. Before we show the final scoreboard, I would like to give Ryan a chance here to choose his own destiny since he was not here last show. Kind of a deal or no deal type of thing here. Jaden and I both picked some solid teams last show without seeing the lineup. Are you going to trust the team Jaden picked, or would you like to make the swap to take my team?
You're my main guy. I gotta take your team. I'm sorry, but I'm taking your team.
Are you sure you want to take my team?
I am positive.
All right. Now that that's settled, let's see the final scoreboard from weeks 5 and 6. All right.
Called it.
Well, I made the promise that my team was going to dog out, and what they did. I also said that I was going to be barking this week, so Jaden, this is for you.
Unfortunately for you, though, Matt, we're going to have to send you to the dog pound since your team is now mine. Let's see your punishment.
Oh, boy. Let's see what it is.
And it looks like you'll be sumo wrestling Kenny Gerard.
Sumo wrestle Kenny Gerard.
Come on down.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh. Welcome.
Kenny,
Thank you.
You ready to get this thing
I thought
started?
we were going to be right out
Wanna
here.
be right here?
Kenny,
Yeah,
we
let's do
can
it.
shake hands. We can make this real formal.
Be gentlemen.
Yeah, I guess let's sumo wrestle. I don't know if you could see Kenny in size comparison to me, but this is not a fair matchup.
I think it's absolutely fair. I think this is a perfect matchup.
If you say so. Let's go, let's hop in the middle here. I have no idea how to sumo wrestle.
Neither do I.
We're kind of going to make the rules up as we go. I think we're going to do 3 rounds, 1 minute per round, give or take.
Yeah.
No punching, biting, or kicking. Cool?
Cool.
You lost me in the biting, but I'll handle it. Let's do it.
I think we have to do something like this.
Yeah, you gotta go. Right. Look.
Oh, smack.
Drop. Right. Smack. Drop.
Eye level.
Count us down, Ryan.
And 3, 2, 1, go! Hey, you're slipping. You're slipping. And, oh, he just spun him around. Oh, he's getting moved around.
I gotta back up a little bit.
All right.
Sneak attack. Ooh.
Oh, sneak attack.
Ooh, got behind him.
Oh, now what are you going to do?
Go this way.
And,
Ready, right?
and
Tango,
10
tango.
seconds.
We're going this way. We're going
You
this way.
got 10 seconds here. Come on, make your last push. And yeah, you just got swept. I don't know. Yeah, 2 more rounds.
How do you wrestle, man?
You better take the next 2. All right, let's get started and go. Whoa, did you just run away? That's not sumo wrestling.
We're gonna walk right over here.
Just pop him over there. Just be careful.
Hey, we're gonna spin him around.
My shoe
We're gonna take him over this way. You lost a shoe? Here, I'll make it even. There, now I got no shoe either.
All right. That is round 2. I gotta give that one to Kenny again. You just fell. Like I do not know what else to say. Yeah.
I didn't have a shoe.
What?
Neither did I. I took mine off.
Neither did Kenny. What's your point? All right, and get ready. You guys ready? Do your thing.
Ready? Here we go again.
3, 2, 1, go. Come on, move him. Do something. Do something.
I'm trying.
Do. He hasn't moved.
Okay, I'll cross my mic. Let's do it. Ready?
You finally did something. You knocked off. Oh, it's a sneak attack. That's crazy.
Let me just fix my mic real quick while I do this.
You're not even doing enough to be able to like stress him out. Come on, you got 15 more seconds. Push him. Move him. There you go. You moved him a step, and that's got to be it. Yeah, Kenny obviously wins 3 for 3. Good job, Kenny. Good effort, Matt. Yeah, there you go. Don't worry, Matt. You can take a breather. Coming up after the break, Kenny will be joining us behind the desk to talk about our favorite players from last week. Don't go anywhere. Fantasyland will be right back.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
And welcome, Kenny. It is time to talk about our players of the week.
Before we do that, we might as well get the audience familiar with Mr. Kenny Gerard. Mind you, he did just sit here and humiliate me on live television. I'm still out of breath from it.
I'm still sweating.
He's dripping sweat. I got hair falling out. So let's formally get to know Kenny Gerard here for a minute. Kenny, it's my understanding that you are the head coach of the club flag football team. Talk me through how you got into that role.
Well, technically, I'm the assistant coach. I don't want to get myself too, let's be real. I'm the vice president of the football team. Me and my friend Dylan Zielinski, a member of the TOP community, we decided we wanted some football on campus last year, so we said, let's make it happen.
Awesome.
It seems like tradition at this point to ask, what makes you qualified to talk about fantasy football?
Well, I mean, I've been playing football my whole life. I played all the way through high school at our alma mater. I was a center and a D tackle.
Can't you tell?
So was I.
Can't you tell?
Nice.
Might be a little obvious, but yeah, it was. I've been playing for a long time. I was captain my junior year, so I played a lot of football, and well, I think the Giants tie gives away what my favorite team is, and I watched a lot of football.
Yeah, and I spent some years over at the Mahonison High School on the turf playing with Kenny Gerard. I quit after about modified year. It wasn't really, playing football wasn't really my thing. Obviously, it was his thing. He had plenty of offers. Ended up in the sunny town of Oswego to do broadcasting. I think you ended up in the right place. Talk to me how you got to be a broadcaster, because I was there to kind of watch it, and it's really an interesting story how you got here.
Yeah, so I never even really considered doing broadcasting for the longest time, and I wanted to do like engineering or something. I didn't really figure it out until January, my senior year, when one of our old teachers, Mr. Veter, shout out if you're still watching, he came up to me, he's like, hey, do you want to broadcast this basketball game? And I was like, sure, why not? So I gave it a shot, and I guess it went kind of well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched you back in the day calling some wrestling, some basketball. Yeah, I'm laughing because I see sweat dripping off
sweat's
your
just dripping.
my headpiece is falling out because my ear's all sweaty. So we might as well just get into our final segment of the night, and that's going to be our players of the week. Some of the guys that we were watching this past week who we're most excited about. I'm going to kick things off, and I'm going to go with my wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You shouted out his brother earlier. Great segue. Thanks for that. Good, nice little layup for me.
You know I got you.
Yeah. It's the wide receiver 1. They just played Tampa. 15 targets, 12 receptions, 124 yards, and a touchdown. Just magical what he can do over there in Detroit. I mean, some huge plays from Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's just been exciting to watch all year. We've been kind of expecting this caliber of play from Amon-Ra since he entered the league. Ryan, who do you have as your player to watch, your wide receiver?
My wide receiver has got to be Brandon Ayuk. He has been wide receiver 18 with missing a game and a half due to injury. And now CMC is hurt, and he's back fully healthy. Minnesota is the 32nd ranked defense against receivers. Ayuk should have a field day and just absolutely rake in some points. I think that he is going to be at least a top 5, if not top 3, maybe top 1 receiver this week.
All right, Kenny, who was your wide receiver to watch?
Well, I kind of went with the obvious choice. I took the one and only Tyreek Hill, the cheetah from the Miami Dolphins. He's averaging 26.8 points and is currently the wide receiver 1 in the league right now. He's boomed 4 out of his 6 games, going over his average. In the last week, he got 28.3 points, 6 receptions, 163 yards, and he got a touchdown, which is, always good to score some points for your receiver.
Yeah, I mean, Tyreek Hill was great. We're going to shift over to the running back room now. I know you got someone else over from Miami. Who's your running back?
I do, and he's also on my personal fantasy team, Raheem Mostert from Miami as well. He's currently the running back 2. Pretty good for Miami to have the wide receiver 1 and running back 2. Averaging 23.2 points and has boomed 3 of his 6 games this year. He had 34.2 points this past weekend against Carolina. He was the top scorer of Week 6 over all players, scoring 2 touchdowns and 115 yards, and averaging 6.8 yards every time he touched the ball this weekend.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert was phenomenal, and he's been great all year. Ryan, what about you for running backs?
Yeah, I've got Kenneth Walker, who is he's a top running back, even with a bye. I think he's top 10. He's been absolutely balling this year. He is a touchdown thief, it feels like. I mean, as somebody who has Geno and DK Metcalf, and my best friend has Geno Smith in my other fantasy league, he complains about Kenneth Walker more than anybody else because he always gets the touchdowns. So Kenneth Walker is my running back, especially against that Cardinals defense in that hopefully high-scoring affair. Who do you got?
I got Breece Hall. He's finally back. They have unleashed the beast that is Breece. He was the RB3 and the RB4 in the last 2 weeks. The RB4 came against Philly. Not great work on the ground, but he still had 5 receptions for 54 yards. He ripped Denver apart in Week 4. Breece Hall has been my player to watch. And then we're going to go with quarterbacks here. It's got to be Tua. It's got to be Tua Tagovailoa. He just finished as the QB3. He's the QB3 in fantasy on the year. He threw for 3 touchdowns, 262 yards, no interceptions against Carolina. He sees Philadelphia this week. Should be a shootout. And I'm really excited to see how Tua does. Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm going to take Josh Allen on the Bills. He's been absolutely balling. He's quarterback 1 this year. Has been looking absolutely amazing. Throwing to Stephon Diggs, who puts up, 20 fantasy points per game. So who do you got, Kenny?
Well, I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to got the guy who's 1 position behind your man, Tua. I got Jared Goff from the Lions, who's been balling this year. The QB number 4, 19.4 points per game, has boomed 4 of his 6 games. 22.4 points this past weekend, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a 107.5 passer rating. He's been great this year.
Absolutely balling. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for